Hi guys, Sean from Stray Angel here, and today as part of our basic cinematography series, we're going to talk about the three-point interview lighting setup. Basically, this is a lighting technique that you can employ in just about any situation with any kind of equipment to get a pretty good look for an interview or a single shot of a person. Like it sounds, a three-point lighting setup has three lights. It has the key light, which is the brightest light. It has the fill light, which helps the key light, and it has the backlight or hair light, which helps to separate the subject from the background, which is very important when you're shooting somebody for an interview. So let's pop into the other camera and we'll take a look at what the lights do and how they work together. So here we have a pretty standard interview shot of Josh. Say hi, Josh. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna turn off all of the lights and we'll start with a black room, which is actually how you generally wanna start lighting an interview subject. You get rid of all of the light sources you can't control and then you start building up your own. So we have a totally dark room now. There's no light sources. The first light that I like to set is the key light, which I'm turning on now. The key light is the most important light because it's also the brightest light in the frame. In this case, you have a lot of shadows off to the right side and below Josh's head because the key light is to the left and high. The reason it's high is so that Josh's chin and neck gets hidden in shadow, which helps accentuate the face and draw the face out. The reason it's to the left is to throw shadow on the right side of the face. And when I say the right side, I mean the camera right side. It adds drama and lets you see the shape of the face, which is more interesting. Sometimes though, it's a little bit too much, which is why we use a fill light. So I'm gonna turn the key light off now and we're gonna turn on the fill light so you can see what it does. So this is the fill light. As you can see, it's not nearly as powerful as a key light, but what it does do is it adds light to the exact parts of the frame that were in shadow when the key light was turned on. So between the key light and the fill light, you can adjust the ratio of contrast on a person's face to whatever you need it to be depending on the subject matter of what you're shooting. The last light is the hair light or backlight. So let's turn the fill light off and we'll turn the backlight on now and we'll see what that does. Now the backlight lights up, you would guess it right, the back of the subject. The reason we do this is to separate the subject from the background. If we didn't have it on, the subject, they might sort of blend into the background a little bit and that causes them to lose power. And the whole point of an interview is to give power to the subject and to, sort of relate to them. So this light helps us understand who we're listening to and why we're listening to them, and generally it just looks nice. So let's turn off the backlight and then we'll turn all the lights on again. All right, now let's bring up our lights one by one. First, we'll start with the key light, and now the fill light, and now the backlight. And that's it. That's a three-point lighting setup right there. Now, keep in mind that you can always enhance your shot by either adding or subtracting lights and doing anything you want to really creatively in terms of your setup. For example, right here, we could add a background light to draw Josh further out from the background. Let's try that. And you see right there, that adds a little bit of a halo effect around his head and helps to separate him. And honestly, it makes him look really good. So that's it, three-point lighting. Remember that three-point lighting is a basic lighting setup. It's the building blocks for whatever it is that you want to do when you're lighting a person. You can always use more advanced techniques to, sort of shape the image into what you want it to look like specifically for a given project. We're gonna go into more detail on how to use grip equipment and gels and diffusion and different types of lights and different types of sources to achieve specific effects in a later video. For now though, that's three-point lighting, and thank you so much for watching.